One of the most divisive topics in the guitar community are aged or relic guitars. Some people really don't like these and have a lot to say about them. Well, I also have some comments on that, which I'd like to discuss in this video, so strap in and stay along for the ride. First of all, I get that it's an aesthetic thing and a matter of taste whether you like it or not, and that's all fine. Yet the people who don't like relic guitars are a lot more vocal than the other way around. I rarely see relic lovers commenting on flamey, shiny, colorful guitars. But let's dive into the leading arguments that people who don't like these guitars make and talk about that. Well, we've already kind of touched on the subject. You either like how these guitars look or you don't. You can't argue about taste. Of course, not every guitar with relicking or aging is done equally well, and the degree of aging also differs. Whether it is done well is objective to a certain degree. You can compare it to an actual aged vintage guitar and see how realistic it was done. But when it's objectively realistic, there's nothing more objective about it. You either like it or you don't. Claiming that relic guitars look ugly might be your taste, but that doesn't make it a fact. It's the same as if you don't like jazz, which doesn't mean that it's bad music in general. Like what you like, and if you don't like something, that's okay, but don't judge other people if they like something that you don't. Another comment that I see a lot is that people want to relic their guitars naturally by simply playing them. They want to do it themselves. And I really understand that sentiment, but a few important things are being overlooked with that argument. Guitars aren't made like back in the day anymore. The nitro finish is different, it's thicker with a lot more plasticizer than back in the day. And if you try to age a poly guitar, well, good luck to you. It's simply almost impossible to age a guitar like they would back in the day. Those old guitars had a finish that was a lot less strong and stable. They often sat in the window of a store, discoloring due to UV lighting and the nicotine of everybody smoking back in the day. And often they didn't get into the hands of our favorite guitar players until about 10 years after they were produced. Let's take a look at both my relic as well as non-relic guitars. This is my Gibson Custom Shop 1957 reissue, and I've had this for a bit more than 6 months. You don't see any relicking on it because it's not a Murphy lab. What you do see is a lot of buckle rash. And this will age quicker than a usual guitar because the finish is a bit closer to what they used back in the day, but it's still not the same kind of nitro finish, so it will not age the same as a vintage one, but it will age easier than a USA one. This is my Gibson USA Les Paul that I've had for a couple of years and played heavily. The only thing that's aged about the guitar is the hardware because I replaced it. But besides that, it still has the same color, you don't see any real aging on it. The buckle rash is a lot less than on my Custom Shop, and I do have a ding here from putting it in the stand, which I was actually kind of bummed about, which might also be an argument about why relic guitars can be a benefit to you. This is my other Gibson Custom Shop. It's also a 1957, but this one is obviously a junior. This is the newest guitar that I have in my collection. I've had it for a few months now, and I did play it a lot. It came from the Gibson European Demo Shop, so it was used. But there is not a lot of wear on this guitar. You can only see the buckle rash once again here, but it's a lot less on this guitar because the color is a bit lighter than on the gold top. Another Gibson USA guitar that I've had for a couple of years and played a lot, but you can see a few scratches in the finish. The pickup covers are a bit dirty, and once again there's buckle rash, but not a lot of aging on this guitar besides that. And now we get into the relic or pre-aged guitars. And I think this is the heaviest one I own, but I think it looks good, it suits the guitar, it feels nice. I'm not sure how realistic it is because I never played a vintage guitar, but I like the look and the feel of it and it suits this guitar. This is my Partscaster Esquire that has a Fender road-worn neck and Fender road-worn hardware, and the body came from MJT with a nitro finish that was also aged. And at this point, I'm not even sure what relicking I did myself and what was actually already on the guitar. And I think some of the road-worn hardware doesn't always look as convincing, but it is good enough for me. It looks weird to have new shiny hardware if the body and the neck are a bit aged. This is just like the Esquire, it's Fender road-worn neck and hardware and an MGT body, all nitro and all relics, and the same as with the last one. I don't know which relicking was on this guitar and what I did myself, but I like the look and the feel of it. A good and fair question that I also see a lot. So let's get back to the aesthetic argument. Some people simply don't like a new and shiny looking guitar. They prefer something that looks vintage, used and abused. But opposed to popular belief, relicking isn't all about the looks. A relic guitar feels different. It feels played in, and that's also the reason why I have different levels of relicking. Some people might not like the look of too much wear, but they do like the played in feel. It's a lived-in guitar and you don't have to worry about using it as much. Also, it's more affordable than a vintage guitar that is lived in like this. Like I mentioned earlier, you cannot get a new guitar easily to this point yourself anymore. If you buy a USA Les Paul, spend 30 years playing it, leaving it out in the sun and smoking next to it in a room, it will still not age like the vintage guitars did. So if you don't like these guitars, I hope you're a bit more informed before making these same old comments that everybody has been making for years. There are plenty of guitars that I don't like, and that's okay because not everything is for everybody. I don't need to comment on that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and please keep it nice and civil on this topic. And while you're down there, please like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and I'll see you next time.